What's going on, guys, and welcome back. Sorry for the delay. It's been like a week since we posted our last video. Things have been really busy, but nonetheless we do have a handful of stuff that we plan on working on tonight. We'll be up pretty late getting these things scheduled for you guys. But anyway, today you're here to see the Prank Kids deck profile. We ended up taking second place in our weekly local last week. There's a link for the gaming group in the description down below. If you want to play in a little bit more meaningful, a little bit bigger tournament, March 9th is our YouTube anniversary, and we are hosting our first annual TSP Championship. First place will get a copy of AA Zeus, a playmat of their choice. We have 5 of them that they get to pick out of, and a special customized top 4 play field center. Second through fourth will also get a playmat. Obviously, you're going to pick. Second gets second pick, third, fourth, and then they will also get top 4 field centers. I said there's 5 playmats though, didn't I? So that means anyone who enters will be eligible to randomly win that final playmat. Also, I will have another field center giving away to a random person, and a Phantom Knights Torn Scales, Appaloosa, and probably some other cards. So just by joining, you are eligible to win these. It is a $5 entry, and any profits we make ahead of this prize support, we have some amazing sponsors that you saw in the intro video. Go check them out. Any profits we make will also be added back into the prize pool. We're not doing this to make anything. It's a big thank you guys for everything, and hopefully next year we're big enough that we don't need to have an entry fee at all. It'll be 100% on us. Hopefully we can hit that mark, so hit that subscribe button, guys. March 9th is a long time away. If you want some practice ahead of that, on February 6th, Dragon Rider Championship Series is holding their second DCS Championship. The first one went really smoothly. I think there was like 5 rounds of Swiss and then a top 4. I forgot how much money was on the line, but it's a pretty good penny. This time around, as you can see on the screen, the details are right there. You can win a playset of Triple Tactics Talent. That's pretty crazy, guys. Like, we're actually going to be live streaming it. If we weren't, we'd probably play in it, but we're going to hang out on stream, talk with you guys, show you guys some of the matches as they happen. But I do highly recommend hitting that link in the description down below and going and joining that group and joining that event, because it's going to be a ton of fun, and I don't want to undersell that. But yeah, so anyway, we blabbered on enough. Let's get on into the deck profile. So for our starters, we're playing the 12 kids and the 3 place. I was actually playing 1 terraforming and 2 place just to kind of deck things. You never really want to see multiple places, especially in your opening hand, but even ideally in a game that doesn't necessarily come up to where you want to. But I was getting drolled too much, and getting drolled right after a place already hurts enough, because then our doodle-doo is not going to add to our hand, so that already hurts. But that's why we're not playing the 1 terraforming and we are playing the place. But otherwise, we all know like the combo, your 1 kid equals your butler play, and you get all your monsters spamming the board. Like I said, we did take second place in our weekly locals last week, but overall we are 14-3 over like the last week and a half or so playing. Like I said, we've been pretty busy, but 14-3. Our 3 losses were Hero, an Eldritch, and a Drytron. We are 1-1 versus Eldritch overall, 2-1 versus Drytrons, 2-0. We actually 2-0'd 2 dinosaurs, and we also 2-0'd a virtual world for our like tier 1 borderline tier 2 decks. Invoke Shadal we 2-0'd, Sky Striker 2-0'd. And then there's a handful of more rogue strategies that we did play against, but them are some of the more notable ones. Like I said, you open a couple of the kids though, and you can go for like your Battle Butler and your Rip Roarin board. I mean, kind of depends what you're going to play against. Like, if you don't need to pop a bunch of spell and traps because they're not playing them, you're probably not going to commit the resources to a Rip Roarin, things like that. Just playing smart and knowing like your matchups and playing and catering it that way. But we do have our starters being the 12 kids, the 3 place, because it's essentially playing 15 kids, and your one kid is your butler combo, so they all are starters in a way. Going on to our extenders. If you open 2 kids, that's how we get our Butler and Rip Roarin. So, I mean, the kids are also kind of extenders, which by virtue makes place an extender. It's not really a great one because it's, hopefully you don't get drolled. And, I mean, it just gets you another name to your hand, really. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, neither. Otherwise, we are playing the 3 polymerization, 3 parallel exceed, 1 instant fusion, and 1 monster reborn. If you saw my post in the group, I was playing a Thunder Dragon fusion, but I bricked on it way more than I ever found it useful, and we ended up cutting it out and putting reborn back in. Other extenders, we do have our Pandemonium, Pranks, and Plan. Pranks obviously needing another card in hand to discard to be able to extend a little bit further, and your Pandemonium locks you into your Prank Kids. That's why I listed these after, because for these reasons I don't view them as essential and I don't want to open them quite as often, but I'm really not upset if I do, because they will help you play through disruptions. The Plan, it's not necessarily an extender, but it's, you know, a card that gets used to make our Rip Roaring on our opponent's turn some of the time, like when you use your Bow Wow tribute, but you banish your Meow Meow instead to get your cards back to your hand, and then you still have the Link 2 on board with 2 other monsters that you can go, that you probably just got from using your Pandemonium to make your Butler, and now you can go into your Rip Roaring and things like that. So Plan is kind of an extender because it helps you link summon on your opponent's turn, but it's not like a turn 1 extender, so that's why it's at the bottom of our extenders list. Defensive cards, instead of hand traps, we just, like, the deck does what it does going first enough, and I didn't want to put a bunch of hand traps in, because going second, hand traps are okay, they're not that great, but if our opponent ends with 1 or 2 disruption plus a hand trap still, you're probably not playing through that more often than not. So you either need 2 hand traps or one of these blowout cards, and I found Lightning Storm to be really, really effective, especially game 1. After game 1, a lot of time they'll put them in defense, but if I'm versing a combo deck, I always side it out because they're going to put them in defense mode when they summon them anyway. But versus back row, it's really, really nice to just have Lightning Storm and blow them up, force all their Eldritch cards so they don't get the banish, they don't get the pop, things like that. We have our Forbidden Droplet and Dark Ruler no more. I don't mind not doing battle damage if I can completely take over the game and out-resource my opponent, break their board, blow up their entire field, and, well, like I said, you don't deal damage, but you put yourself so far ahead on resources that it's not going to matter, and you'll OTK them the following turn. Forbidden Droplet's really crazy when you, like, set it and you Pandemonium into your Butler, and then you summon your 3 Prank Kids, and you still have your Verde. Like, you have so many cards that you can use as negates now. Like, it's crazy. So Forbidden Droplet, really, really strong in the deck as well. We are playing a few bricks. I haven't seen too many play it, but I absolutely loved it. We are playing Dragoon in here because it's really easy. I mean, you open a Kid and Poly and you can make your Dragoon and Butler play. So I really like it. It gives that Omni negate, helps protect things, a big boss monster. But more importantly, it really helps to play through negates. It really helps to at least be able to make something through out of, like, nothing. Once in a while, like that Meister, the Bell, the Ash, it's going to end your turn, but I found way more often than not between, like, the Exceeds, the Instant Fusion, the Polys, the Call by the Grave, the Monster Reborn, the Dragoon, you're able to play through that 1 disruption pretty easily. And I mean, if you open your Red Eyes Fusion, like, that's really the only bricks. We have so many 1-card combos that you can afford to open one of the vanillas. But if you open the Red Eyes Fusion, it depends what deck you're playing against. Can they out Dragoon? No. Well, play your Red Eyes Fusion. Do they have, like, 3 monster negates on board? Well, you're not going to do the Prank Kid stuff. Summon your Red Eyes Fusion, or use your Red Eyes Fusion. Just play it, you know, play it smart. Like, is Butler Rip Roaring going to be a better board than Dragoon Pass? Make your Butler Rip Roaring. Can you make Dragoon with Droplet to send a handful? Then, like, just play your hand based off, well, what's going to be the best option. Just because you open Red Eyes Fusion, you don't have to use it. I've won games just leaving it in my hand. I've banished it for Roxy's to get my draw. So, like, it's not dead. You don't have to use it. So many people aren't even playing it in the deck. Like I said, then just, if you open it and you're not going to go that route, just use that as your Roxy banish, and simple enough. You don't lose a important card. But yeah, without further ado though, I'm going to throw the whole deck list up on the screen now after we just broke it down into the subcategories, so you guys can see the extra deck. This, kind of ignore the side deck. That was catered for the locals. I haven't really changed it since. I do like all them other than Impermanence this format, but the other 4 I do actually really like. Impermanence is just a local meta call. And then our extra deck, we are playing the 1 Battle Butler, considered playing 2 but went away from it. 2 rocket, considered dropping it to 1, but once in a while it came up and I needed it and liked it and wanted it, so I did not do that. The 1 weather washer, it's actually 1 game's summoning it on my opponent's turn and just being able to make my cards not get destroyed that turn, and then I can go off on my turn. The 1 Dragoon, 1 Abyss Dwellers are only Exceed. With Dragoon, I found that it's not really needing to play Toad. As easy it is to get into Toad, if they have a negate for your Toad, like they have the negate for the Verde, either way, if they have that negate, they have it and they're going to stop you anyway. So like I found that it doesn't really, there's no point in playing both. 2 Meow Meow, and then you have your 1 Link Spider. This card really comes in clutch versus like dinosaurs, getting rid of the token, using it later play, like turning a Nibiru token into it, and if you open your Exceed, a lot of the time I'll try and hold Exceed in my hand later in combo if I don't need it, because it's really not doing anything by summoning it sooner. So it's kind of like a fail-safe. If I get Nibiru'd, I go into the Link Spider, now I can still summon Exceed and continue to do things like at least a Dragoon, which, I mean, if they have nothing left, that's, you pop the token, right there's 3,000, and then your Dragoon is going to attack for another 3,000, so that's 6,000 damage right there. And then you have your 2 Doodle Doos, 1 Bow Wow, the 1 Verde, like I said, 1 Rip Roarin', and 1 Access Code. With Dragoon being able to pop cards, I actually considered playing Boral Sword here, but nonetheless, we are keeping the Access Code because the deck makes it really, really easily. Hopefully you guys liked the video and it was easy enough to follow along. Make sure to check out those groups down below. Like I said, Dragon Rider Championship. Check out our event page for the TSP Championship, and go check out our lovely sponsors and their awesome playmats, especially Grove Reacting Gaming with their amazing Prank Kids one. He already posted it up in the group, but I wanted to give him another little shout out here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like, share, subscribe, and see you guys next time.